Okay, awesome. All right. Okay, guys, we are super excited to have one of my dearest friends, Cheyenne Weable, with us today. And Cheyenne and I met, well, we've been lying to people forever, but we really officially met at a opportunity meeting. And then we re-met by randomly sitting next to each other at convention in Dallas in 2014. Literally just randomly sat next to each other and became instant friends. And anyways, I'm not going to talk more about that because she can tell her story and all of that. And then she's going to give some tips. But thank you, Shine, for being on. You know that I'm so thankful for you. And so we're excited for today. Thank you.
No, I'm so thankful for you too. And yeah, so when we met, it was such a blessing because it was like God knew I needed a person, my person. And Beth is that person for me in Plexus. So, anyways, okay. So in June of 2013, Celeste Wynn messaged me and asked me to take Plexus to a mutual friend of ours in Vietnam. I didn't know what Plexus was. I had just finished up teaching. It was my 15th year of teaching, and of course, I asked her what it was. Was I going to get in trouble in customs? I wanted all of this information. She reassured me that I wouldn't get in trouble, and she just said, "Hey, it's just these, this package of these little sticks of a drink and accelerator." Y'all, she didn't tell me anything else about it. She just said this little bottle and this little package, and I was like, okay. So then I decided I was going to check out her Facebook page and see what it was. Like if I was taking the stuff for her, surely she had posted about it, right? So I start looking on her Facebook page and I realized that she had lost a lot of weight and she looked amazing. So of course I was like, I'm in. Not only do I want to take it for our mutual friend, I want to try to take this and see if I can lose weight too. So yes, I started just for vain reasons. I just wanted to lose some weight. And so started the products within 3 days. I lost 3 pounds and I posted on Facebook. And when I did, I had somebody that wanted to purchase Plexus from me. Well, I didn't sell it. So I told Celeste, I was so excited, hey, I have a new customer for you. And she said, you should really think about selling it. And I was like, no, that's for my husband. He was in medical sales at the time. I was like, I'm a teacher. I don't sell things. She said, look, you already have one person that wants it. If you have 2 or 3 more, you could make enough that you could turn around and purchase your products. So I said, okay. And so I did. I started selling Plexus June 9th of 2013. And then I left on June 17th and I went to Vietnam for almost a month. But while I was there, she had said, hey, post some on Facebook. And I said, okay, but y'all, I could start posting things that were really happening with me through Plexus. I was losing weight. I was craving water. I wasn't drinking sodas all of a sudden. And so as I started posting these things, I didn't post a lot, but I'd post some. And as I started posting these things, my friend Kim Wilson, she reached out to me and she wanted to join my team. And y'all, I remember thinking, you want to join my team? Like, you don't want to just be a customer. Why would you want to join my team? And she had done, direct sales, network marketing before. And so she knew the potential. So she asked me about the comp plan and my answers were, I have no idea. She asked me about our products and I was like, I don't know, it tastes good. Like literally those were my answers. And so very quickly, she started talking to Celeste. Celeste helped her through a lot of things while I was in Vietnam. Well, she ended up going silver. And I will never forget her best friend reaching out to me on Messenger and saying, hey, can I post that Kim went silver? And I was like, okay, but what does that even mean? And so, y'all, that's how my business got started. I had 0 clues that this could actually work. And so thankfully, Kim knew more about the business than I did. Celeste had coached her through. Well, then Kim, whenever I got home, Kim and I started talking more. And I thought, well, if she can go silver, I can go silver, right? I just need 2 more people. And so by the end of July, I went silver. And then by the end of August, I went gold. By the end of September, senior gold. And as you can tell, my journey started going really quickly. And so I was ruby by October. By November, I was senior ruby. And by that following January, I was emerald. By that March, I was sapphire. And I'm going quickly. There was a lot that happened in this, but I have some other things that I want to share. So by March, I was sapphire, and by that May, when I met Beth, she actually sat next to me as I was going diamond. So she got to hear me count down, I think, the points from 100 or something. That all that day, she got to hear me. But ended up going diamond within 11 months, and that was incredible. And I was so excited. And that whole time, I just would be like, oh, okay, well, like when I went emerald, I was thinking, well, I'm not going to get my car because by May I'll be diamond. And y'all, it happened. I never thought I couldn't do it. And so it was, this forward momentum. It was crazy. Beth and I were both in the top 10 at convention for convention credit earners. And I just never thought, I never let fear get in the way. I never let doubt or any of that get in my way. Well, in May, when I hit diamond, I knew I was quitting my job as a teacher. But my husband decided he was quitting his medical sales job, which was such a blessing because he hated his job at this point. But at the same time, fear set in. I was thinking, oh my goodness, what if something happens to this company? Oh my goodness, we're not going to have traditional insurance. Oh my goodness, I just got a Lexus that they're paying me $1,000 a month for, that if something happens to this business, I'm not going to be able to afford it. We both quit our jobs. So all of this fear and doubt started playing in my head. And by August of that summer, I started going backwards. And then fear really set in. That went on until December, when I actually ended up losing diamond by 9 points. Y'all, I didn't even realize that I should be pushing or asking my team for help. Honestly, in this business, I thought my business was my business, their business was their business. Now, I'm not saying I didn't post on my team page and I didn't talk to my leaders. I'm not saying that at all. I didn't know how to lead. I didn't want to be a leader, and that had never been a desire for me. And so that role did not come easily. Ended up losing diamond, like I said, in December by 9 points. I think I reached out to Sarah Marble, I told Beth, and I think I told Kim Wilson. And Sarah Marble gave me all sorts of good information about books to read and personal development. And that's why I'd actually reached out to her, because I knew personal development was her thing. Reached out to Beth. She was my friend that I could go to, and she'd give me that support. And I remember in January, she was like, how are your points? I'm like, I hit diamond again. And then Kim Wilson actually hooked us up with Leslie Zan, and we started getting personal coaching from her. So over the next 8 months, I literally, every month I think Beth heard this every month, I'm like, oh my gosh, I just need, 15 more points. And I would hit diamond, but it was barely. But I was also, during this time, I was learning so much about who I was, who I could be as a leader, who God designed me to be. But then in that August, I think I lost diamond again by maybe 13 points, but that's when it hit me. I was learning so much, but I wasn't sharing that with my team, and I wasn't pouring into my team the way that I needed to be. So that's when I kind of flipped things, and I had to go back and apologize to my leaders, and tell them, okay, I'm here. I want to be able to be in this leadership position. I want to be able to help you. So got diamond back the next month. Well, from there, thankfully, we've been moving forward, and I'm not saying we never take a step back, but thankfully I've held rank. So I learned so much in that process that I wouldn't change it for anything. Used to, I would cry every time I talked about it, but I knew eventually God would use that story so that I could encourage other people. So that's my story quickly, but I did want to share some things that I've learned over the last 5 years with you. Beth, do you want me to share those now? Because the end of that kind of goes into what I wanted to share. But
yes, but you have to talk about Tram too. You have to tell that story. You have to talk about Tram.
I will. Okay, so financially, Plexus helped me so much. We worked on bringing our daughter home from Vietnam for 7 years. And thankfully, with Plexus, in 2014, I was able to take off from teaching for 3 months and try to bring her home on an education visa. That was denied. A medical visa was denied, but I was able to take off work for 3 weeks, y'all. That didn't happen in teaching. I mean, I was docked pay, but thankfully, because of Plexus, I was able to do that. But in September of 2014, adoption opened. And actually, right after it opened, we went to Hawaii. And Kevin and I sat in our room one day when it was raining, and we sat and did paperwork for our adoption. So it's kind of cool that we got to do that in Hawaii. And then we waited. So we waited 3 years and 2 days, I think, to actually bring her home. So last September during Hawaii, I didn't get to go to Hawaii, but that's because we finally got to bring Tram home. And y'all, the finances from Plexus are what helped us do that. And I know God would have provided either way because she was ours, but he provided Plexus for us to be able to do that. And y'all, she's just doing amazing. And because of Plexus, I get to stay home. I can take her to school. I can pick her up, but she's off on Friday. She doesn't go to school on Friday, so I get to be home with her. We also have 2 other daughters. JC's 21. She's an esthetician, and then Macy's 16. So she's a junior in high school. But so yeah, Plexus has just been an incredible blessing for our family financially, and of course the products too. And we've seen countless victories with the products. Even with Tram, I'll just talk a little bit about Tram, but she started taking our ProBio 5 and our X Factor vitamin, and y'all, her hair went from about here, and it grew probably about this much over like 3 months of her taking X Factor. It just shows me, like, when her body's healthy, a good sign of health is hair and nail growth. So her acne is starting to clear up on her face. She's in a much better mood. She fought me tooth and nail. She didn't want to take medicine. Now she has no problem with it because I think she feels so much better. And she sees the results. Does that make sense? Like, she's always wanted long hair, but they used to cut it really short at the orphanage. So that's just a little something. Kevin's had results with restless leg syndrome and being able to sleep through the night. He can do that now. He doesn't have the pain in his legs. We had another family member that really struggled with anxiety and depression, and Plexus helped that person. There's just been so much. So yeah, so that's a little bit about Tram. Tram's a blessing for sure. She's a mess, but she's a blessing. So anyways, did you have any other questions or want me to talk about anything else that I'm forgetting?
No.
Okay.
I'm excited she's going to be in Hawaii.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, she's a mess. You'll see quickly.
Right. I'm going to give her some candy.
She'll like that. So,
yeah.
So, okay. So one thing that I think has been on my mind, and I've seen myself, I've done it for the last 5 years. Do you ever get in a position where you compare yourself with others? Maybe you're looking at, a diamond. Maybe you're looking at a senior gold. Maybe you're looking at a ruby, and you're thinking, well, if they can do it, why can't I? And that's true, right? If I can do this business, anybody can do this business. I kid you not. But we can't compare ourselves with others. And it really hit hard last week. End of Leaders Retreat competition, or not competition, contest, end of Emerald Extravaganza contest. And I was bummed. I'll be honest, I was bummed. I hit the first prize for Emerald Extravaganza, which was $300. And I was like, why couldn't I win that $10,000 shopping spree? Why couldn't I win $2,000? Why didn't I get the spa day? Okay, I'm not saying don't work harder, but what I'm saying is I also needed to take a step back and say, you know what? I am going to Hawaii and I won $300. Y'all, that's huge. Maybe you won Leaders Retreat, but you didn't win any other prizes. That's okay. Maybe you didn't earn Leaders Retreat. Maybe you didn't earn Emerald Extravaganza. Whatever the case may be, we need to stop comparing ourselves to others, and we need to focus on the blessings that are right in front of us, right? So that's what one of my senior goals, she told me, she said, Cheyenne, you didn't, because I told her I was really working hard towards that, the massage package. And she said, but you're going to Hawaii and you're getting $300. And I thought, you're so right. I need to be thankful for what I've earned now. I'm not saying it's not going to make me work harder next time, right? But I need to be thankful for what's in front of me right now. But stop comparing yourself to others. Comparison is the thief of joy. And my husband has told me that forever. He's like, Your identity is not in your rank. Your identity is not in a contest. Your identity is not in a check that you bring home. That is not who you are. Your identity is in Christ. So be proud of any accomplishments that you made. So what happened is I was so bummed about not getting to that next prize that I forgot to be proud of myself. For July is probably one of my best months I've had in a long time. Had 3 new customers and 2 new ambassadors. Y'all, for me, that was huge. Last month I had 1 new customer, or 1 new ambassador and 3 new customers. Those were big months for me, but I forgot to stop and celebrate them because I was only focused on what I didn't get. So maybe your accomplishment is stepping out of your comfort zone. Maybe it's being consistent with the products or being consistent with your daily income producing activities. Maybe your PV went up. Maybe you had a new customer or a new ambassador. Maybe you just talked to someone that you have been terrified to talk to about Plexus. Maybe you started cold messaging people. Whatever it is, don't forget to celebrate the small things just like you would the big things, and do that for your team members too, right? So make sure that you are celebrating them for every accomplishment. It will go so far. Something else that I've learned to do is use positive affirmations. Obviously, I need to do them again because this was just Friday that I was so bummed, right? But use positive affirmations. Quit telling yourself negative things about yourself. Tell yourself positive things. I love in the Rachel Hollis book from Girl Wash Your Face, she says the only person you need to be better than is the one you were yesterday. And that is so true. We think sometimes we need to beat someone else, or that's how we measure our worth, as if we're doing better than someone else. But really, we just need to be a better version of ourselves today than we were yesterday. And then Galatians 6:4-6 says, don't compare yourself with others. Just look at your own work to see if you have done anything to be proud of. You must each accept the responsibilities that are yours. And that was the easy read version, so I like it. But it makes so much sense, right? Like, quit looking. I need to quit looking at even Beth, okay? I need to quit looking at Celeste. I need to quit looking at other people. I need to say, did I work my business? Did I do everything that I could do? And if that answer is yes, I need to be proud of myself, right? Like, I need to be proud of myself and quit worrying about other people. So the second lie that I told myself, I have 3 lies. So the second lie that I told myself is, I'm in this business all by myself. So maybe you don't have support from your family or your spouse or your friends. Sometimes our family and our friends are the hardest people to get to join us, right? Because for whatever reason, they're skeptical. Sometimes when we feel like we're all by ourselves in our business, or all by ourselves in our whatever's going on in our life, we tend to isolate ourselves. And that happened to me last spring. As I told y'all, Tram came home in September, and that was absolutely amazing. It's something we had prayed and prayed and prayed about, right, for 7 years. And so in my head, everything should be perfect, but it wasn't perfect. Change is hard, whether change is good, whether change is bad, it doesn't matter. Change is hard. And so I really started isolating myself, not only in my business, but in my family. I mean, I think I cried every day. And so I just started praying. I'm like, okay, God, you have given me so many friends, right? You've given me so many people that I could reach out to. Number one, it was pride that was holding me back from talking to those friends. And I have a lot of friends that I can pick up the phone and call, but sometimes you just need that bond, like somebody right there with you. And so I started praying. I'm like, God, show me people in my community. Show me godly women in my community that you want in my life. I kid you not, he showed me 3 different women. And so 2 of them I work with, and then the other one I've started exercising with. And out of the blue, it was more of an acquaintance. Now we're pretty good friends, but she called me and she said, hey, do you want to go walk today? And that's how I started working out. So if you're not working out, I will say, I always said it's dangerous and I hate it, but y'all, I actually love it now, even though I'd still fall down. But so what happened is, Becky calling me and asking me to go walk. We started walking. We started sharing our lives. We started talking together. It really pulled me out of that funk. And I think we need to do that in our business as well, though. because I think so many times we can get down on ourselves. We can think, oh, we're the only one working, my team's not working, whatever. Well, maybe your teammate's going through something really hard. Maybe they're going through a change, or maybe they've been going through something for years and they just need that friend. So something that on your team that I think everybody needs to do is you need to create a community. You need to create where people feel known. I'm not talking you just know their name and rank. I'm talking you know their story. You know who they are. You don't have to be a diamond. You don't have to be a ruby. You don't have to be a senior gold. You can be brand new in this business. Look around you. It could be somebody that's a sideline person, right? A sideline partner. Start creating that community. I should have been the one reaching out to people, but instead, thankfully, Becky reached out to me about it. So get involved, go to events, host sip and sees, ask people to dinner, meet for brunch, go serve together, go exercise together. Whatever you do, this business is about relationships. So find a way to create that culture and create that community. Something Kim Waller and I we started something called Better Together. And what we do is we get together one time a month and we do just some training. We do about an hour and a half. We eat together, and then so we usually have breakfast together. You know, we all just kind of have little finger foods. And then we do a product training. We pray together. We do like a business, like maybe in a beginning business training, and then an advanced business training, and then we circle up and pray together again, and then we find some way that we can serve together. So like this weekend, September 15th, what we're going to do after our Better Together meeting, we're going to go serve at Feed My Starving Children together. Y'all, nothing brings you closer, and bonds, I'm telling you, are unbreakable when you serve together. And so that's something that we started doing. And so everybody wants to be known, y'all. Everybody. People that aren't like you, they still want to be known, right? So get to know people and their stories, not just about Plexus. Be you, be transparent. When somebody's transparent, it gives somebody else permission to open up and be transparent too, maybe with something that they're struggling with. I'm not saying call each other and just complain all the time. That's not what I'm saying, because that's not productive. But if you're going through a struggle, be transparent. Let people know, be genuine, and be a friend. So at church the other day, our pastor said this, and I loved it. He said, every person has a name. Every name has a story. Every story matters to God. When Jesus was asked, what is the greatest commandments? He responded with Mark 12:30-31. Love your Lord your God with all your heart and with all your soul and with all your mind and all your strength. The second is this, love your neighbor as yourself. Your neighbor, y'all, is all around you. It just doesn't have to be the person next door. It's people you work with daily. It's people that are in front of you in line. People that are, go to school with your kids, whatever. Find ways to love people. So find ways to love not only your team members, but those people in your community as well. And then Philippians 2:3-4 says, do nothing out of selfish ambition or vain conceit, rather in humility, value others above yourselves, not looking to your own interests, but each of you to the interest of others. So don't just look at people as a paycheck either, like, oh, you've joined my team, you're a paycheck. Like, find a way to love them, because if people feel like a paycheck, I guarantee you they're out the door, right? So, but when we feel known, we feel cared for, that's what good leaders do. That's strength of a good leader. And so when we do that, people want to stick around because we so desire that community. And then number 3, the lie that I tell myself is, I'm so busy. Like when Tram came home, literally I was like, oh, I'm so busy. I'm so busy. I'm so busy. And we use this phrase like it's a badge of honor. Sometimes we just need to slow down and think, am I really busy, or am I making myself busy? And so if you really want this business to work, find the time and work your business. Y'all, you don't have to work it 5 hours a day. And there are going to be seasons where you're probably going to work longer hours, but find that time and work your business. Stop the excuses. So we all have the same 24 hours in a day. You just have to decide how you're going to spend those hours. I know when I started this job and when Beth started this job, like we went to Diamond as we were working our other jobs, right? So what I would do is I would get up in the morning, I would post. My husband made fun of me because I'd be running around like a chicken with my head cut off, and I would go make sure that I posted though before I ever left the house. And then, on my breaks, I would go have my lunch, but I would take 10 minutes of that time and I would respond to messages. On my conference period, I would respond to messages. I would reach out to people. Whatever it was, I made it work. And so there are some solutions. And I know there are some of you that you have small babies at home and it seems like it is crazy time or whatever it is, or maybe you work really long hours at work. Kim Waller shared this and I loved how simple it makes it. So here are some solutions to working your business during a busy schedule. The first thing is, well, I'll share her 30-minute schedule in a minute, but some of the things that I do to help me just have an easier week in my business is I like to plan my week on Sunday nights. So I'm going to plan my posts. I'm going to start looking for those posts because you know what, guys, we can scroll Facebook for 2 hours if we're looking for a post to copy and paste, right? Or even if we're trying to come up with our own, it could take us 30 minutes to write out that post. If you start thinking about what you want to post on Sunday night for the week, that's going to help you out a lot. Write down on those IPA sheets, those income producing activity sheets, write down who do you need to follow up with? What phone calls do you need to make? What personal development are you going to be doing? When I have it planned out, I can go through my list of things so quickly. When I don't, I sit here and I'm like, oh my gosh, who did I need to follow up with? Oh, let me check Plexus. Now let me check Facebook Messenger. And 2 hours is gone and I haven't done anything. So when I plan out my week, it really helps. The second thing is listen to personal development. There's Audible, there's YouTube videos. There's training videos, so much. You can listen to those while you're getting ready in the morning or while you're exercising if you're not with a friend or while you're driving. There's so much that the personal development should be the easiest part because you can listen while you're doing something else, while you're doing chores around the house, whatever it is. The third thing is stop scrolling Facebook. Yes, I know before you post, you're supposed to comment on people's pages for 10 minutes before and 10 minutes after. I get that. But once those 10 minutes before and the 10 minutes after are over, stop scrolling. There's really not a whole lot on Facebook that we're going to miss out on, right? Like get your work done and then go scroll if you want to. So somebody said, favorite podcast. I am a reader more than I am with podcasts. Andy Stanley, I will say this morning, my husband was listening to a podcast from him, and it was a church sermon, but he was talking about leadership. I was like, well, if I didn't already have my notes, I would have just copied what he said. But Rachel Hollis is amazing. And what I'm reading right now is Everybody Always by Bob Goff, and the book Love Does. Amazing. So much of it I can take and go, okay, he's talking about the Lord, but I can also take it and work it into my business, right? So both of those have been incredible. I know a lot of people use Audible. I am a reader. I love to curl up and just read. But if you don't have that luxury of reading, then do Audible. I think that's great. But yes, Girl Wash Your Face, incredible. Okay, number 4, set business hours and then set a timer. There's something in our brain, if we hear that ticking, this is what Kim Waller was sharing too, is if you hear that ticking, it's gonna make you work faster, right? Because it's almost like, I don't know, it makes you aware of your time. But set like an egg timer so you can hear that. But set those business hours and then give your family like, hey, y'all, from 9 to 10 in the mornings, I'm working my business, or from 5 to 6 at night, whatever that looks like for you. And maybe it is 2 or 3 hours a day. Maybe it's 5 or 6 hours a day, totally up to you. Make sure if you're working 5 to 6 hours a day on your business that you're really being productive and not just saying you're working. And I know people do. So, but make sure your family knows your expectations. My 21-year-old will just call me, and if she knows my business hours are from 9 to 11, then she knows not to call during that time because I'm not going to answer, and I'm not going to talk during that time. If you can, turn off your phone. I know for me it's hard because I have kids, 3 different children in 3 different places, and my husband's driving all over the place and doing things. So it's hard to turn off my phone, but if I can even turn it upside down and not look at every single thing that pops up as I'm working, because I'm very easily, I get distracted very easily. So I think that is huge. The 5th thing is do the things you dislike most, do those first. Y'all, if you have that person that you need to reach out to, God laid them on your heart, or you saw something on Facebook and you think, I've got to reach out to them, but it scares you to death, do that first. The rest of your work will fly by. It'll be so much easier. And then number 6, wake up early and spend time reading the Bible and talking to Jesus. I'm telling you, if you start your day like that, it will change everything. And if you have to, wake up an hour early to do your work, right? Like if you have to do it all before your kids get up, if you have littles at home all day, or maybe you work, try to go to bed earlier and get up earlier so you can get your work done. So here's a simple plan of action that I was telling you Kim Waller shared. So it only takes 30 minutes. So for the first 3 minutes, you're going to do mindset, prayer, motivation, whatever it is that you want to do to get your day going. 6 minutes, add 3 new Facebook friends. 9 minutes, follow up, whoever you need to follow up with, and then spend the last 12 reaching out to new people. What would your day look like if you did this every day for a month? What would happen? I know what would happen. Whenever I started doing this in June, guess what? July and August, I had 2 of my best months. It's crazy. And so it really does. When you put forth the effort and the time and not just say it, y'all, I can sit in my office all day long, but if I'm not reaching out to people and I'm not following up and I'm truly not working my business, then I'm not going to see the results that I want. So, and I'm just going to end with this. Colossians 3:23 says, whatever you do, work at it with all your heart as working for the Lord, not for human masters. Y'all, I truly believe Plexus is a gift from the Lord, and we need to treat it just like the gift that it is. If we're complaining, if we're grumbling, if we're not thankful for the small victories, y'all, he can take it away just like that. It's been a gift that's been placed in our life, and the products and the business. So I think we need to definitely treat it as such. And I hope y'all can't hear my washing machine. It's about to explode. I think it's getting really loud.
That's what I just heard it just now when you said that. Okay,
Yeah.
who loves Cheyenne? I do. Like, she's absolutely amazing, right? Okay, does anybody have any questions? And I'm going to talk about Cheyenne while y'all type any questions. Yeah, okay, so like Cheyenne is truly like the most amazing, you are, person in the whole wide world. And she cares, if you can't tell from this Zoom, like she cares for people like nobody's business. She, we talk about relationships all the time in this business, and she is what we should look at in an example of that. She loves people. She takes care of people. She encourages people. Yeah, she was the first One Plexus Award winner, and I got to stand right next to her as she, it was like the coolest thing because I kind of had caught on to what was happening and she didn't. And so like I had my phone out videoing her and Kevin as I called her name, and she's like so deserving. She loves people, y'all. I mean, she loves people. She is truly the hands and feet of Jesus, like absolutely. And I know that anyway, so she is, y'all should look up to her is all I'm saying, but she is precious. And if y'all can't tell from just this Zoom, she's absolutely amazing, and I'm thankful for her. So anyways, does anybody else have any questions for her at all? If not, we'll be done. Nope. Okay. Awesome. All right, Cheyenne. Well, thank you a million times for hopping on with us, and we appreciate it so much. And y'all share this with your team because it was absolutely amazing. All right. Bye, guys.
Bye. Thank